Awesome.
All right, let me get this set up. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Actually, going to do one more thing. All right, guys, we are live. Um, so if you look on my news feed, you'll see this. You're probably going to see this on my news feed. Anyway, so what we're going to talk about today is something that we've been talking about this for a long time. Talking about how can you make a penny in Webtalk? How are you generating revenue? If you look at my news feed, I went and looked last night, and I went through and I looked at how many posts I've made. And from the beginning of the month, it looks like I've made around 22 posts, which is about a post a day. And if you look at that, and then I looked at my dashboard, and I have about 33, I think it's about 36 cents for the month. So that kind of shows that you can get, if you do a post or two a day, you should be able to generate, if you're posting, content that is getting viewed, you should be able to generate like a penny a day with a couple posts. So this is not you have to do 500 things, you have to be there all day long. Looks like you can generate a penny pretty easily. And so we've been looking at that, and we're also going to look at some other ways to figure out how to generate revenue, even just a penny a day, which seems like it's a pretty easy thing even right now. What I wanted to do is Ranye has started talking to some businesses, and he has kind of given them kind of a format. Kind of looking at, here's a list of how you can do it as a business. What it's going to benefit that business in the future to do some promotions in Web Talk, or do some promotions to get people to get into Web Talk and to start interacting with that business on a new platform. So, Rania, go ahead. If you want to introduce yourself, you can, or whatever you want to do. But Rania is going to he's going to share his screen. He's going to show us kind of the process that he uses to talk to businesses, and then shows them kind of a calculator on how that works.
Awesome. Thanks, Andy. Yeah, so pretty much like you were saying, when I joined, well, when I came back last month, I was talking to teacher Tim, and he was telling me about this whole IEG thing about how they're offering services for free and how they're able to earn revenue with WebTalk by doing so, and how they're in over 70 countries teaching English and all these other things. And so basically, the more I talked to them, I kind of started to brainstorm this model like, what if instead of doing individual invites, we got the businesses within our communities to join, and they would basically offer something for free in order to get that incentive for people to join under them, and then they would get the 5 levels from upgrading, and they would have people come in, and if those people just basically earned them a penny a day, I was wondering, like, how much could that really be if they basically had that incentive? Because right now what we're seeing is when you invite somebody, let's say you invite 50 people, there's a good chance that less than half of those people are actually gonna finish their profile and enroll in the free cash rewards program, even though it's free, because, they may get busy or they may forget, they don't save it on their phone, something happens. But now with this, we're having this incentive where, like, if you do actually finish your profile and enroll in the free cash rewards program, you're going to be able to get this huge incentive. Like, something we're using is free products for a year. So I've been talking to a pizza franchise and a bakery and a um, supplement shop, basically, to have them offer this offer. And I've kind of been trying to tweak the way that I present it, because if you know about trying to invite people to Webtalk, it's a pretty abstract concept. Like, people don't really understand it. They don't get how you can make revenue for free. So I'm trying to keep it to where it's very minimal so that they don't get information overload, but at the same time make it so that they can see the value in it. So that's when I came up with the basically what I call the minimum effort potential, and it's using a calculator that I found online, and I'll actually post a link to this website in the description here in a little bit. But let me get this pulled up. So basically, this is like the super beta version of the site that I just threw this up on, just to have a place to store the information as well as link to the actual calculator. So basically, this is assuming that this is obviously going to go pro so they can get the 5 levels and achieve this. But at the start of it, pretty much goes over that this plan is going to allow you to bring your current and potential customers into the Webtalk, where they will earn you a minimum of 1 penny per day each, just for doing the same things they're already doing in Facebook and other social media sites. These
Okay,
initial referrals,
are you sharing your screen?
I am not, because
Okay.
it's my first day and I am a rookie.
Alright, go ahead and share your screen so we can see what you're talking about.
That is a good idea,
There we go.
Andy.
Excellent.
All right, let's get this out of the way. Okay, here's the site. Actually, I have this pulled up, so I'm just gonna drop the link in the comments in case people want to pull it up and follow along. But basically, like I was saying, is basically having a breakdown to how they're going to get this started. Now, you can just send this to them, like just send them to the site, because it has all the information. After you go over it yourself, you can kind of see the kind of steps they need to go over, the type of strategies they can use. But I recommend doing like a sort of guided tour with them, just like kind of mentioning that, you have this plan that's going to be able to make them a little bit of revenue, and if they got time to hop on a call, you can basically tell them what the website is, send it to them in text message or something, and then just go over it with them, so that way they don't get lost with the information. And obviously, you're going to want to like actually read over it yourself, so um, make sure that you understand what it's talking about as well. Hold on 1 second. I'm just getting the link to copy the calculator. Okay, there we go. All right, so you have thousands of people earning you 1 penny each day, and eventually you will be earning $10,000 each month without even having to sell your product. And then I have basically here's how it will work. So basically, they're going to be choosing from one of these options for each of the steps. So they're going to decide their offer. Basically, we have here where they're going to either give away a free product for X amount of months or a year, or they're going to set like a static discount of over 50% or more, or they're going to just issue store credit, whichever one they decide. So it basically just gives them some options just in case. They might have a product that's a little bit too expensive for them to give away, like a year's worth. So they might want to choose one of the other options. Then they're going to basically just decide on how they're going to the conditions for it. And the one I'm thinking is going to be the most popular is just have the customers join Webtalk and enroll in the free cash rewards program. Now, in order to have the lowest barrier for entry, I basically will have a post on all their social media just saying that all they have to do is join. And then inside of Webtalk, they're going to report to a post for the instructions to get more entries if they enter the free cash rewards program, just so that they know that it's super easy and they don't have to worry about a bunch of steps just to get them in there. So it's either or. Either you make it mandatory, depending on the value of it, make it mandatory for them to enter it, or you have it like a kind of two-step process. Then you just have B, customers must complete condition A, but also must invite X number of people who will do the same. So that's basically if you have something that's like whatever over $100 or something that you don't want to just make it super easy, you can say, okay, not only do you have to join WebTalk and complete your profile, you have to invite 5 people that do the same. And so that makes it so you're already going to be guaranteed those 5 people that you're going to want to have as a minimum to kind of pull this off. And then also they know that, okay, this is serious because I'm having to basically jump through these hoops. And that's also going to increase the quality of the people that you're bringing in. So you don't have 10,000 people that haven't completed their profile in your downline. All right. So basically, we're going to have to decide how your offer will be issued. You're going to have your customers enter into a drawing. And there's a lot of free things you can do. Like Google has like a random number selector. You can just have people enter, put their names on a notepad, and then enter them into there and have it select them. Or you can just have it deliver the offers to customers once they meet the determined conditions. So that's like if you're going to allow everybody to win, that's something that you would do. And then you want to get into how you're going to actually announce your offer. Most of these businesses, they have email lists that are like 10, 20,000 people. So you definitely want to get them to send out an email blast. And then they're going to be able to set up their automations for their abandoned carts. A lot of people that have like online stores, like the supplements company, they have an online store. So every time somebody purchases, they get an automatic email saying, "Thank you for your order, blah, blah, blah." And what I'm doing is I'm actually adding the sweepstakes to the end of that. Like, oh, by the way, if you want to win a free year of supplements, we're having a sweepstakes for a month. So just join using this link. And then they're going to, of course, post the offer to all of their social media. And then this last part is just basically a suggestion for like them to kind of organize it. They're going to set up a pin post inside of WebTalk. It's just going to have all the little rules and like basically things to keep people engaged, so that throughout the month they're not forgetting about WebTalk, because if people don't save it to their bookmarks or whatever, they can easily forget. And even though they're joined, you also want them to make sure they're enrolled in the free cash rewards program and that they're inviting people, so that the sweeps just grows and grows basically. So next, we're going to go over the minimal effort potential for earnings. This is based on a low ball estimate of starting with just a few people and every person inviting 5 more to determine what you could make if they joined WebTalk. Use the minimal effort to earn just 1 penny per day. And basically the rate that I've been going, getting 1 penny a day is about, I like to say that it's less than 30 minutes on the site, basically from scrolling. Because what I do, I'll show you real quick, is I use the web app because I'm able to scroll through these notifications, and these ads will load right here. And so instead of having to go to a bunch of different pages, I'm able to just scroll through here and just basically rack up some ad views. I'll scroll all the way down to the bottom, scroll to the top, and then just refresh a couple times. And I'm basically at my dollar for the day just doing that, even if I don't make a post. But back to this. So basically, with this site, all I did was I took what's called like an iframe, which is basically like putting a square inside of my website, and then it shows something that's on a different website, which is where this calculator is found. So this isn't like a calculator I created. I just found it and noticed that it was going to be pretty cool to use for this. So if anybody's like a web developer or something, and you can put this information inside a Google Sheet so that it looks a little bit cleaner and it's easier to put on the site, definitely just let me know and I'll send you whatever you need as far as like the site stuff so that you can edit it and basically make it your own and present it to everybody else. But basically, the instructions they're going to have is to enter the recommended values on the right into the calculator to see how much you could earn with Webtalk. So basically, we'll go through that. It says for the average, you want to change that to daily. And we're doing 1 penny a day. And that's the per associate. So remember, we're having 5 levels deep. So you're going to want to use 6 of these rows because the top one is going to be the U level. But all of these rows are going to be 100%. And that's just basically saying that for each of the rows, you're going to earn 100% of what those team members earn. Because typically, as you know, in MLMs and things like that, you don't really get 100% matching on these levels. Each level would start to go down like 10, 15% as you go down, which is something that is good to bring up to them as well, that they're matching on all their levels 100%. All right, so then we have level 1 through 6 commission set to 100%. Level 1 partners is set at 1 penny because that's you. You're doing 1 penny a day. And then basically what we're going to do for levels 2 through 6 is we're going to decide what's going to be the starting point. So I have 2 different figures here. If they're just an individual starting for this, they're just probably going to start with like 5 people. But for an actual business, it's going to be closer to 50. Now, remember, this is a super low ball estimate because, as I told you, businesses, they usually have email lists in the thousands. So you're probably going to be looking at more along the lines of them starting with 10,000 people. But when you show them what it can do if they just get 50 people, it's really going to blow their mind. So we're going to start with the business doing 50. Oh, you don't put a 0, 1 in that. You put an actual 1. So the numbers inside partners, that's how many people. So on the U level, the top one, that's only 1 person, that's you. And then on the second level, they're going to have an initial entry of 50 people. And then for each of these other levels, as you can see in the instructions, they're going to do basically the previous level value times 5 because each person is going to be inviting 5 people after that. So let me grab my calculator because I'm super bad at math. All right. So we're going to do 50 times 5.
Everyone knows how good I am at math, so.
All right. So we got 250 times 5. 1250 times 5. 6250. And finally times 5. 31. 250. All right, so basically you can kind of see how this goes up and up and up with each level. You got all of your 5 levels. And let me just get a total really quick for this next part. We're gonna have 50 plus 250 plus 1250 plus 6250 plus 31,250. All right, so in this 5x5, we're gonna have 39,050 people total. So then once they plug in all the numbers, they're gonna be able to see what these totals start looking like. So this breaks it down starting from the day and all the way up to the year. You can see that each day that's going to be $390. And then you want to kind of focus on the monthly and the yearly. For the monthly, they're at 11,878, which remember you're telling them that they're going to be able to make 10,000 per month. So they're a little bit over with that, so that's good. And that's just from the initial people being invited. And then for that year, we have six figures at 142,536. And remember, all these people right here, these numbers are assuming that nobody in this level, in these five levels, upgrades. So if even one person upgrades, it gets even crazier. But this is basically just people starting with a free account and they complete these steps to enroll, and then they invite five people each, and it just grows from there. So you can see how with a company that just is starting with 50 people, remember I said they're going to have email lists of over 10,000. They're going to be able to do six figures for that year without even selling their product. And then some other things. I wish I had. Oh, let me hold on a second. I might need to pull this up. Actually, I'm just going to pull it over my computer and talk about it because I kind of put the figures for if a few people upgrade and things like that. I didn't add that to the actual site, but I'll go over that really quickly as well. And it's loading. But yeah,
What's
I'm trying to
interesting is if you were to look at this how many people are signed up on these levels, and if you just put 1% of each level upgraded, so 1%, let's see, of 50, 1% of 50 is what? Um, shoot, would it be like one? Let's see. This is the wrong, like my math is horrible too. But if you look at this and you calculated 1% on each one of those levels, because that's kind of an average of a very low average, but it's probably going to be more. But if you think about each time only 1% of each one of these levels upgrades, you could kind of figure out your kind of earnings for that month, um, based on $20 or $10, up to five levels.
So I basically, oh, is this for 5 or 50? Huh. Oh, so some other things that you're gonna want to go over with them is that we got the $5 sign-on bonus coming up. So that's gonna be $5 for each person that enrolls in the free cash reward program and also reaches that $100 threshold to be paid out. So they're gonna get $5, and then you're gonna get $5 as well. So if you got 39,000 people in this five levels, then just from the sign-on bonus alone, they're going to be at over what we got 54,625. That's insane.
Yeah, it is. This is an interesting kind of way to look at this.
So basically now, I mean, a lot of people they're not marketers like I am, so they're kind of going to be wondering how to actually approach the businesses themselves. So for me, I do a lot of my marketing on Facebook, and I don't really reach out to people per se. I just have my Facebook set up. So, like, hold on, I'll kind of open it up so you can kind of see what it looks like. So basically, it's just this banner that is going to say, "Want to know how you can get more leads, sales today?" And then click here. When they click on it, it's going to take them to this. And it basically just gives them my whole little intro. And then they come to my flow page and they can sign up for the services. So, but with this, I kind of reached out to a couple clients that I already had. So the three that I'm talking about, the pizza chain, the supplement store, and the bakery, I had already been working with them for 5+ months. So I was able to just reach out like, hey, I know I've been running ads for you and that's been going kind of great, but I have this new thing that I think that you should look at that will make you more money and it's like no upfront investment. So of course, since we've been working together for so long, they're interested to hear about it, but two of them were kind of shaky on actually going through with it because they didn't fully understand. So I'm gonna have to spend some more time talking to them. But for the supplement shop, there was like they didn't think that they would have time to actually run it. So what I'm thinking is going to be the big part of it is if you can actually run the sweepstakes for them. So that's basically like setting up the simple post to get it started because basically you're going to be the one that knows about Webtalk. So you're going to be able to formulate something that just takes their offer and lets people know what to do in Webtalk to sign up. So it's basically something as simple as like taking a notepad and saying, okay, this is what you're going to post on this day when the sweepstakes starts. Hey, we're having a sweepstakes. You can get this product for 12 months if you just sign up. Then they're going to post that. Then you're going to say, okay, I'll take care of your emails as well. Email this to all your people. Put down some copy. Hey, thanks for being a customer. We'd like to offer you a chance to win a free product for 12 months. Enter here. And so they send that email out. So it's all super simple. And even if they were to just do it themselves without you having to make up the copy and all that stuff, it'll be super easy. But when they look at it from something that they've never done before, it looks super complicated. So they're going to be more inclined to like try to not do it and say, they don't have time. So basically that's the biggest chance you have to actually get it going is to offer to do it for them because like I said, it's super easy. I'm going to be making some kind of templates for things that it can be sent through email and also that they can post on their social media so that basically you just change the name of the business, change the product, and you're already good to go. Because once a lot of people start getting one business in, for one, we're gonna crush that 1 million people for the 5 tiers rather quickly, and then we're gonna have a lot more active users because people are gonna have to keep coming back in order to enter, and it's not going to be like a one-time thing. Like this is something like I learned from teacher Andy because we were talking about it before I put this whole plan together. He was saying like, you start off with doing this for a year, free pizza for the year, and it's just one time. And then as you go on and they get more and more revenue, they can offer like free pizza a day or however many they want to do. So it's just like it's infinite possibilities with this. You just got to get creative and use this calculator is kind of like a foundation to come up with your own offers, but basically just bring them in here and show them whether they're going to be a lot more inclined to get on board, join Webtalk, and start making some serious money.
All right. Okay, so Rania, I think that there's a site that people could actually go to and look at this information. Is that correct?
Yes, I actually already posted it in the comments
Oh, okay.
of your
Okay.
live.
Okay.
So if you want to edit the actual description and just put it up there, that'll probably
Right.
be the best. So it doesn't
Yep.
get buried.
Yep. Yep. I can do that. Cool. All right. So when we look at this, guys, I mean, this is a concept that we've been talking about, but it's something that if you really like can put it in a in a piece of in a piece of writing or some sort of presentation, then you can see it a little bit more. People can see it a little bit more. And hold on one second. I'm gonna pull up the. Oh, okay, there's the calculator. So that calculator is the link to the
Yes, that's for the website.
Okay. All right, let me edit this real fast and put this up here. Um,
And for some reason, the video didn't save when I put the link in. That's weird.
okay, this should be. Hold on one second. Okay, so I put the link up here where it says the calculator. All right, so you guys can click on that calculator. Now, here's the thing, and this is what I want people to understand is when, when Rene showed that he was talking to a business, here's a couple things that I thought of instantly. We keep talking about Webtalk is your own business. You are the CEO. Well, here you go. Now you got to think in a business kind of way. If you are trying to get people into Webtalk, how do you do it? Well, maybe you say you start doing a little sweepstakes of your own, okay? Or you think about, look, if I can just get 5 people, or like this one, like this one shows 50 people, 50 people into using your direct link to get into Webtalk and explaining to them and showing them exactly what Webtalk is about is not very hard to do. Okay, that's not a very hard thing to do. Um, so when you look at that, you can take this idea and use it to be something that you can use for yourself, even if you're not thinking about a business. Now, what I would do is I would start kind of thinking about. We all know what like little strip malls or like areas where in our neighborhoods where there's like 5 to 10 businesses. Well, if you went to them and said, "Hey, you know what, guys, I understand what's going on in the pandemic. I understand that that customers coming in is much less than normal. Would you like to hear about something where you can generate revenue from those same customers that normally come in? And maybe we can, get together and I can show you a way to kind of generate some revenue beyond just selling of our product." Now, we've talked about, let's say a restaurant wants to do a cooking show. Well, what you can do is you can turn that into a contest and say, hey, the chef's going to cook one of our, signature meals. Get on, watch the live, comment, maybe bring in 5 people. I don't know, do whatever for that particular, cooking show. And then at the end of the show, when we have all the names, we put them into a little thing live. We put them in a little thing. I have a thing that I use for class that I just put names in and I hit it and it's like Wheel of Fortune and it'll stop on a name. And then at the end of the live, someone wins that dinner for the night. There's multiple things that can be done. We've talked about, let's say even the band. Well, the band is losing money because they can't go in and play and get paid for the night. So why not that restaurant say, hey guys, instead of coming in to the restaurant, because we are in a pandemic, we're going to have them do a live event. Okay, they're going to play at their house or they're going to play on a Zoom together, whatever. And you guys are going to watch it on Webtalk. You can listen to it in your house. You can, drink your wine on the porch, listen to the band that you usually go and listen to at our restaurant on the patio. We can't do that right now, but guess what? You can do it at your own home. And afterwards, we're going to cover someone's bar tab, or we're going to send you out a voucher for something, or whatever. And these are very simple things that you can do to get people to start focusing on, hey, I need to be in this. Because the thing is right now a lot of businesses just go, I use Facebook and it works really well for me. Yeah, it works really well for you to connect to people, but that's not where we're at right now. We need people to actually support, because that's what's happening to businesses, that they're losing all of their customers just due to the fact that they can't come in. So this is an idea of getting all what you do in your business into the customer's hands without the customer even being there. And I think that that's a huge thing that we need to think about, is how do we get people to kind of get pushed into this without feeling like they're getting pushed into it. And we talk about pizza for a year. Why don't you start with a pizza a week? Um, hey, one meal. That's not that much money for a business to give up. So you could say, hey, this week we're doing a sweepstakes for Friday. If you show that you got 5 new people, got them signed up on Friday, we'll put your name and them. That would be kind of cool, and the 5 people into the drawing, and someone could win a meal for a meal for a family or a meal for a person or whatever you want to do. But you can keep it very simple, and this is what we need to do to get these businesses going in. And the thing is, and I don't know if we want to really pound this into businesses, but the businesses at some point will understand what's really going on here. 70 plus countries are going to see their business and they're going to start interacting. Whether they win the competition or not, you can't send a free pizza over to Pakistan, but maybe at some point, instead of that free pizza, we'll send you the credits that would be valued at that or something like that. So there's multiple ways to do this, and there's multiple ways to kind of make this work for you. But I just thought it would be really cool for people to kind of see something where you could actually show and kind of plug in some numbers. And if you watch the video, it makes a little bit more sense on how to put the numbers in for people to see.
I also wanted to,
Yeah.
you reminded me real quick about the reach of this that we talked about yesterday. So obviously, if you're doing these offers for businesses inside of towns, like let's say they're in a small towns like 5,000 people, obviously that's the extent of your reach. But what's going to happen is when people enter in order to enter the sweepstakes, they're going to be inviting people. Now, even if these people aren't in the town that the sweepstakes is in, or they're not even interested in the product, they're going to stay in Webtalk because they're still going to be able to earn revenue. So that's why it goes so much further than a typical one where it's you're kind of bound by your geography. This one can still be worldwide, even though it started as it's in my city location, but now I have people from all over the world in my downline because they saw the power of Webtalk, basically.
Well, here's a prime example. Yesterday, someone purchased um, a pro package on my 5th level from Australia. How that person's in my 5th level, I have no idea. I could go look and follow it. I can figure it out. That's fine. But what I'm saying, as far as an example, I don't know who that person is, and they just made me $20 this month. And the
Mhm.
beauty of this, guys, is when someone purchases that upgrade this month, they'd be crazy not to upgrade next year. And they'll know that. By the time that you get through a whole year and see what the potential of the 5 levels is, you're not going to give that up. So now I know that next year in January, I'm already up $20. Now think about when you put in, like he's saying, all of a sudden you have 5,000, 10,000 people that are seeing this, and all of a sudden, 20 of them, 50 of them go, you know what? I need to upgrade. This is valuable. So now you have in a month 20 people that upgrade. You know that next year you're going to make that money, and it's just going to keep going and going and going. So that's another part that yeah. And then the $5 bonus, I mean, that's just another thing that every time someone hits $100 and they get their first pay from Payoneer or Stripe or PayPal or Coinbase or whatever, well, there you go. If you have your 5 levels, when they get their $5, you get your $5. And that's huge too, because when you think about a business, like Rania said, okay, some businesses have 10,000 people. Well, you sign up 10,000 people into follow you on Webtalk, which they've already done in Facebook. Let's say half of them start using it. Well, that's 5,000 people that are using it, and 5,000 people are going to go tell someone else. That's just that has to happen. So I think we've explained it well enough. Ronnie, do you have anything else that you want to add to this?
No, like I was saying, if anybody is cool with making websites and they're They're very skilled at it. I know it was a very basic version. I'm not a web developer. I just want to have a place where people can go to check it out and send people to look at it. But if you are able to work with Google Sheets or something like that, where you can put these calculations in, so that way we can just put that on the site instead of using a calculator from another site, that would be really cool. So just reach out to me and let me know, and we'll try to make it look a little bit better.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's that's a little shout out to whoever's making stuff. It's funny because we talk about, like, we look at like the gig economy. Well, here's a little shout out to the gig economy. Here you go. Can someone make this and help someone who's trying to figure out, a little bit cleaner of a calculator to show people. But I think this is great. I think this is something that we can show people, and you can kind of get people to understand Web Talk a little bit more. Now, remember, guys, this isn't just about business, but businesses definitely need to hear this, because it's going to give them a way to start generating revenue that they're losing out on right now. And I'm pretty sure that $200 a year is a pretty low investment in yearly advertising for most businesses. So they probably would be pretty excited to hear that, hey, for $200, if you want to upgrade so you can get your 5 levels, you've got your advertising, and you can do whatever you want for the next year in this platform. I think that's pretty huge. So with that being said, Ronnie, thanks for coming in and showing us that. And anybody that's listening, if you have any other questions, please go to. I'm pretty sure that Ronnie will have posted this video on his news feed on his platform. If you have questions, okay, that are related to this particular thing that he can answer, go to his news feed and support him. Don't ask the questions to me, okay? If you have questions that you want me to answer, based on this, yeah, you can ask me. But if it's something that that he can answer, please go to his news feed, go to his site, and support him, because he put this together, and you can use it. So how does he get something out of this? Well, you start interacting with his platform, you follow him, you start looking at one of the things that he's posting, and now you're supporting him in Web Talk. And that's exactly what we want to do, is everybody can support everybody else in Web Talk. So that's the bottom line here. So with that, I'm going to end this, and thank you for coming in, Ronray, and we will talk to you later.
All right, man. Talk soon.
All right. Okay.